Hi, thanks for joining me on Wilderness with the Monty. I'm with my cousin Lance here, and we hiked up to Lake Vernon, which is a hellish hike, and you can see the hike for that on my hiking and backpacking playlist. And we're in North Yosemite, and this is normally a really bad bear area, but we got here yesterday. We haven't seen a bear yet, which is great. Today, we're going to be hiking a true cross-country route to Branigan Lake above Lake Vernon, a lake that's rarely fished because the hike up here is so bad. Who in their right mind is going to hike up there? So we're going to have to plot out a cross-country course. I did this hike before in the mid-90s, and that was a long time ago, so I'm not trusting my memory. I just know we got to stay high above the lake or we're going to get stuck in a swamp. So let's start heading out there, and I'll show you where we're going. So there's Lake Vernon right in front of me. Branigan Lake is above it, and I think pointing to that pink right there, that peak, I think we got to cross that saddle. I think Branigan's right on the other side of that. So the first time we tried to go straight from the back of the lake and shoot up that rock face, but we ran into a swamp in the back. And then on the way back, we took a higher route, and that was way better because it's really open, this granite in this glacier-carved valley. So we're going to take the high road. And we got up here yesterday, we were dead. It's like a 10-mile hike from Hetch Hetchy with a 3,500-foot elevation gain. It's brutal. But we slept last night, and we both feel pretty good, so we figured we'd go up here today because it might rain tomorrow, and I'd rather be around my camp fishing Lake Vernon when it's raining than be caught way up at Branigan Lake in unknown territory when the weather turns south. So I think this was the right call to go today because we both feel pretty rested now. So we already had a conference about this, about being careful where we step, making sure we don't get injured, but also if we run into something where it looks too dangerous to get around, we have no problems with pulling the plug and turning around. Because I haven't been here in a while. The way we went last time, I really don't remember. The terrain's pretty rough, but you can make your way along this stuff. It's not that steep. It's steep, but it's not that steep. So I'm thinking we can get up there. It looks a little dodgy towards the end, but we'll see what that looks like when we get to it. This is one of those situations where you just look and you just guess, and hopefully you don't come up on something that you can't pass. So I already told him I'm making no guarantees on this route. It was a long time ago since I went up here, and I've only been up here once. And it looks really steep, but there's routes to get up there. I've seen them. I know they exist.
I've been fishing with Amani long enough where I know what he's talking about when he says it's one of those situations.
You know,
you gotta take a leap of faith.
He understands my system of uncertainty. So as you can see, we're staying high and dry above the lake. You try to go through those trees back there, you're just fighting through bushes and swamp. It's October, so things are a lot drier, but I'm not even going to risk it. I just remember how horrible it was trying to get through that last time, and we had to turn around and come up here. So that much I know. But this area is so open, you know, you can find routes. I always find when I'm doing a new route like this, if you run into something you can't cross, it's just, rather than try to make it work, sometimes you just got to turn around and go back, because there's no definite route here, and you really got to watch your footing, because at Lake Vernon you get hurt, you're screwed. Branigan you get hurt, I guess it's another level of screwed. I I don't know how many levels there are once you get up into an area like this, but I'm assuming it's at least marginally worse. So here we have a choice. Are we going to try to cut up there? Or are we going to go down to that next level where it looks easier and then shoot up that backside? I think that's what we're going to do. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Sounds good?
Good enough.
Does it sound good or does it sound like it's going to work?
I don't know.
I don't know is a fair answer. Because I don't know either. Well, this cliff right here clearly says go that way. What do you think? Cliff or that way?
Let's go this way.
So now we're doing a gradual elevation gain so we can get as high up close to that area where we need to get to as we can, because it looks really steep over there. So it looks like we just have to find a track that follows along this ridge, and it should get us closer so we don't have to climb anything if we just keep going gradually up. What? What?
Check it out.
Okay. Strategy has changed. It actually looks like we can go down and through. It looks like any which way we're gonna have to cut through some bushes. So, what do you think?
Yeah. Cut down and come back up.
It looks like if we go up, we can go right across there and up that.
Yeah.
Want to try that?
Sounds good.
I mean, how good does it really sound? Are you just saying sounds good, or does it really sound good? Because it sounds pretty shaky to me. So if you saw my video where I went cross-country to Z Lake, that was barely cross-country. That was technically cross-country because there wasn't a trail. This is real stuff here. And I'm thinking we're gonna be able to find our way up here. We're gaining some elevation now. We're way above the lake. We're gonna be close to level to where we need to go. So as long as we don't get cut off by a huge crevasse or a cliff, which is very likely, I think we might be fishing at some point. So the high route was a dead end. So now we're gonna go back down, try to track closer to the tree line, and then shoot up that back section back there. I know you can get there because I've been there before, so truly it's a possibility. So I think that's the route we can do. So far, every sentence I've started with "I think" has turned out to be a bust. So we dropped back down and just ran into some thick forest, so we're gonna head back up. Didn't look like we can get over that anyway. The only thing you're gonna get from this hiking clip is it's hard to get there. That's the only thing you're gonna get. And then when you set out, just know you don't want to go through that swamp area in the back of the lake. Other than that, I think it's every hiker for himself is finding a route. But we haven't been going for that long. If we can get over this mountain, we can reach the lake. Okay, once again, we're going back down because we just ran into a cliff. We gotta hug the trees a little longer and I can see exposed granite on the other side of those trees. What do you think?
It's gonna work. It's definitely the best path.
I don't know if I'm that confident, but let's go. So now we're going through this edge. There's some old bear crap. We're going through the edge. The swampy forest is over there. We're right on the edge. The mountains are right here. And if we can get around here, we'll be at the base and we'll be looking up at the lake. And Lance said we need optimism. How optimistic are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
It's already starting to wane. So I'm like, maybe 7.
He's already bailing out on me. A 7 is good. I'll take 7. We've got open area out there that might be swampy. Then we have this big rock cliff that might get us up to the next level where we can just shoot right over. Well,
I'm down to a 6. But
6 on the optimism scale.
still on the positive side.
Okay, that's something. What do you think?
I think we're heading up scouting mission.
Okay, we're gonna go scout up until the going gets tough. If the going gets tough, I'm just gonna quit. This totally reminds me of one of those big fake zoo enclosures where they have like the animals are in there. You don't know if they're happy or sad. They're waiting for the next meal. People are throwing peanuts at them. It's a tough situation for the animal, I'm sure. That right there is a bench made for a giant. Look at that. It's like a perfect sitting area. If you're like 12 feet tall, you could totally chill right there. So we've gotten to a point where the lake is right up there. And it looks like we can plot a course right through this area right there. Right, boom, 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 zigzag. But everything looks like it's good. Because then you keep hitting stuff like this, where there's just a cliff, and we gotta backtrack a quarter mile, so. We're at the level now where I'm close enough to Branigan Lake where I can smell the trout in there. Once I get the whiff of trout, I ain't turning around. Reached to the point where the lake's right up there. That's where the saddle you gotta cross to get up there is. And it looks like we got a pretty clean path right here as long as you don't hit a cliff. So you wanna stay above the tree line before you come up until you reach that big rock wall I showed that looked like a zoo and the seat for a giant. You can't miss that seat for a giant. It stands out different from everything. So now we're just gonna shimmy up this. As long as it doesn't get too dangerous, it looks like this is gonna get us to where we need to go. What's life without a little adventure, right? Please don't hit a cliff. It's right there. The lake is way down there. You can see, even though it's October, the back of the lake, there's a huge like pond back there with lily pads on it. And that grass is probably flooded. And that's what we hit last time. It was a nightmare. We're going up some pretty steep stuff, but it's nowhere near flat. But the angle isn't crazy. So I don't like heights. If the angle's crazy, I'm not going on it. So that's a pretty good indication to you, if you're at home, that it's doable. If you're willing to go through all of this. Okay. We are on what looks like almost a ramp to the top. Not a textbook ramp, but possible. Optimism level.
Looks flatter over there.
It does look flatter over there. Okay. I was trying to boost up the confidence on this route. I went for the optimism level, and I get it's flatter over there. Thanks, Lance.
You got it.
Never mind me saying it was a straight shot. It's a straight shot Sierra cross-country rocky mountainside standard because we're battling to find a route. But we're finding one. We just got to be able to get out of here. If we can get down to there on the way out easily, that might be easier. This is, I don't know. We've gone back and forth so many times, I don't even know which way we came. Look at this tree scratching out in existence. The thing barely has roots in the ground. It's all deformed, trying to grow any way it can. That's awesome. Now it looks like a straight shot. We just had to climb down from some madness up there, through some treacherous stuff, to get down here. And it looks like when we leave, if we just stay on this flat track, we can make it down pretty easy and not do all the back and forth we've done. There's Lake Vernon. We're camped way over on the other side of the creek, the inlet creek that's dry. And this is just an extraordinary place, man. It's just really hard to get to. It's hard to get to there, and it's even harder to get to where we're going. But once you get to these places, in my opinion, the payoff is worth it. Witness with Amani here. I'm speaking to you from the top of a mountain. We're battling to get up here. We better catch some fish, man. There's Lake Vernon way down there. Some ponds in the back. Some river fishing back there, but I think most of the rivers are dry right now. This has been an adventure so far. I don't need any more adventure. I'm ready for it to become easy. I've had enough adventure. My fill of adventure's done. How about you? Do you need any more adventure?
I'll take some more, but I don't go as much as you.
Okay.
Maybe not today.
You know, seek out some adventure on your own time.
Yeah.
I'm all used up on adventure. Lance pointed this out to me. This is glaciation. This was probably deposited. See how it's just sitting right there? By a glacier. Last major glaciers up here, I think, were like 60,000 years ago. But look how cool it is. It's got all these different colors in it. And it's just different from everything else that's around. So this dude came from somewhere else and was carried by a glacier for thousands of years. There's a small lake. I don't know if there's any fish in there. I haven't seen any risers. But we need to go to Branigan, and that's up and over this massive blockage. So let's go. So I think I miscalculated. I thought it was right up here. I think it's up over that peak right there. But we're walking on some pretty flat stuff, so I don't care. He's got the map going on his phone, so we're kind of keeping track of where we are. We have come a long way. There's Vernon. And that's way down there. I thought it wasn't this far. Well, we've been at this for a solid 2.5 hours. And we're just battling. So once you get to the top of that saddle I was pointing to, you'll see that lake down here. And now we're hiking up to the final ascent to Branigan. I thought it was closer. But that was, like I said, that was some memories so long ago. I don't remember all the trials and tribulations to getting up here. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of them. But, you know, just get a good topo map. And you're going to have to backtrack a lot, probably, if you run into stuff you can't pass. According to the map, should be right over this hump. And I hope that's true, because we've spent so much time finding this place. We're only going to be able to fish for a couple hours, and we got to head back. Here's Branigan Lake. Few have seen it with their own eyes, even fewer have fished it. So we need to get down there, we need to get to fishing, because it took us way longer to get up here than we thought it was going to take. And we got to figure out a route down. There might be an easier way in here. We're battling to get down to the lake. It's not that bad, but it's certainly a lot farther. Well, we're here. Few people will ever lay eyes on this, actually, and even fewer will fish it. But we're here, we hiked it, and we're gonna show it to you. My memory of this place and the route up here wasn't very good. It's 30 years old. and it was a lot longer than I thought. I already apologized to him for taking him down this rabbit hole.
Compared to yesterday, it's totally fine. That was nice.
Yeah, the hike to Vernon was a lot worse with the heavy packs. But this took a long time. We're only going to have a couple hours to fish it. We got to get out of here. But I hope you enjoyed that adventure. That was a heck of an adventure, man. And we really had to find our way. There's cross country, as I said, and there's cross country. It ain't getting more cross country than that. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me and my cousin Lance on Wilderness with Amani. Until next time.